All right, we are live with my good friend and my personal coach, and just happy to be with you, Coach Burt. Thanks for coming on. I'm super excited that you're coming to Cleveland.
Yeah, me too. This is going to be a great day. It's going to be a day of activation for folks. So I'm excited to be with you.
So let's talk about activation, because that's really the reason why we met. So about I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, my business partner Jay Kinder and I were down in Nashville, Tennessee. Love Nashville. Happens to be where you live with your family. Mm-hmm. And we were at a real estate event, and you got up and spoke. Now, Jay and I had no idea who Coach Burt was at the time. We didn't know you were a big deal, man. But turns out something that you had said in that room got Jay's and my attention. And, listen, we've been, personally speaking on stages for years and have hired all the best coaches. And frankly, we were at a point where we weren't hurting by any means. Our business has been doing really, really well, but we heard you and something fired us up. We literally ran to the back of the room, said, hey, we don't know who you are except you're Coach Burt, and we need to hire you right now. And you lit that fire that, we just needed to be reignited is really what it boiled down to. So, kind of that's the introduction of how we got to meet, and I'm grateful and blessed for it. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about, and we'll talk about who should be listening and who should be joining us at this event.
Well, to the point that you're talking about, I think there's a significant difference between inspiration, which is kind of, an idea that has a hold of me. It's trying to get me to move, right? We can get inspired in a second. Then there's motivation, which means to move, right? And then there's activation. And that's really what I'm most fascinated by. It's what I'm writing my 17th book on, called Flip the Switch, which I've studied at a very deep level. Activation is initiating something real deep inside of you to want to go to a higher frequency, no matter what level you're playing at. Michael Jordan's worth $2 billion, and that's good. But if he was in a room with Jeff Bezos, Bezos is worth $200 billion. So it's all relative. Everybody's at some level. And so most of my life I have spent doing one thing, activating what we call the prey drive in people, PREYDRIVE, which is an instinct to want to pursue something. And what I think I do for people is I activate that. Just like that day, I activated that drive in you guys who are already doing incredible. By comparison to most of the people in the real estate market, you're crushing it. But that day activated something inside of you to say, man, there's a whole nother level for me. There's another place I can get to. And we can all get to, by the way. So that day, I'm going to focus on that concept, which is what I'm speaking all over the world about. I'm in Salt Lake City today. I'm in Scottsdale tomorrow. It's what I'm coaching a lot of everybody from insurance, mortgage. My top mortgage originators are doing 200 million plus. My top real estate people, you and Jay, have big teams of people. I'm coaching all kinds of people around the country in insurance. So really, this is a day for people who know they have another gear, another frequency, another level. And I'm actually going to show them the mechanics and the science behind how to do that every day, how to find that gear and call upon that prey drive to that instinct to go find that next level for you.
And that's really what it was, Coach, is that we, Jay and I are sitting there next to each other, and we both looked at each other, and we looked at John Kitchens, and we're like, holy crap, we need to hire this guy. And by the way, just so for the people that are watching this, if you're in the Cleveland area, I put the link so that you can sign up for this event in the comment section. And the reason we did this event was I'm always just trying to bring value to the local professionals in the Cleveland area. This particular event's different though. This isn't so much a real estate event as it is really, like you said, activating that prey drive, flipping that switch. We knew we had another level in us.
Yeah.
We knew it was there, right? And so Glenn Sanford once said, that when you feel yourself doing really well, mm-hmm. and you become aware that you might be coasting in your business. So let's say you're listening to this and you're doing well. Okay. Maybe you're making real good money and things are just going really, really well. And you find yourself just coasting. Well, Glenn had said the next thing after coasting comes pain. You just don't see it around the corner.
Yeah.
And so if you're an insurance agent, if you're a mortgage originator, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a business owner of really any kind, get yourself a ticket to this event because it's going to change your business. It's going to change your life. And it's not just for business too, right, Coach? I mean, we're talking about every aspect of your life, reigniting that, firing it up with your relationships, with your, your business, your personal growth, everything, flipping that switch and reigniting it. That's what this event's going to be all about.
Yeah. Satisfied needs never motivate people. And I actually think there's a difference between complacency and laziness. Lazy people don't have a work ethic. They've never seen it. They've never been around it. They don't understand it. But successful people can become complacent, which is I've hit a level and now why should I go to that next level? So I kind of gradually settle for what I have, right? And something comes along in life and activates that drive. But after it's activated, there has to be a persistence to it. There's got to be an intensity to it. You've been in your game for a long time. I've been in coaching for 30 years. Yesterday, I was with door-to-door salespeople, right? And they kind of said, man, nobody's ever really talked to us about this. I mean, they laughed, they cried. They like, man, nobody's ever hit me this deep. This flip the switch thing, man, hits people in a very, very deep way because it does truly activate something inside of you. So I break it down and I codify it. And I say, man, this is how you do it. There's 3 phases to this. There's 5 activators of it. How do you do it every day, especially if you've been doing something for a long time and you've had a lot of success? Because I get to coach people that are just getting started, right? There's people up there in Cleveland just getting started that are looking and hungry on how do I do it? How do I get there? And then there's people who have been doing it at a very high level. It's like, man, how do I keep doing it over and over and over and over? And that's what I'm really impressed by people who can continue to do it over and over and over. The pro in the NFL, the artist that sings every 200 shows a year, the person that's just got to keep doing it, man. That's very rare in today's world.
Yeah, and I love that this isn't an event just for real estate agents who are maybe just getting started, right, or an insurance agent who is killing it. It's literally for anyone that's in the business of people.
Yep.
where you need to build relationships to build that business, and that's your source of income.
Yep.
And if that matches anything that you do, this is for you.
Yep.
We actually backed this event up against the hockey game that we're doing for charity, and it's called the Bankers Cup, and I'm going to put the link to that. So Chris Wendt, who's the founder of the Bankers Cup Hockey Classic, this is real estate related, where mortgage bankers, insurance, it doesn't really matter, real estate agents, anyone who can play hockey, we're going out there, we're battling it out for charity. It's all going to a good cause. And that's actually the very next day. That's on Sunday. Ours is March 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 13th, down at the downtown arena where the Cavs play, and we're gonna be having that hockey game down there. So, Chris said, hey, could you bring in somebody, from out of town that could speak? Because there's a lot of people coming into Cleveland to watch or play. We have 4 NHL players playing in this hockey game. Wow. We got people coming into Cleveland. They're flying in from Canada, wherever, to play in the game. And so he's like, well, you think we could put an event right before this? There's going to be so many people in town. I said, I know just the guy.
Yeah.
Coach Burt. So tell us a little bit about, you got a book coming out. I know this is, you said 17th book. I mean, I got a stack of your books. That was the other thing we did, is we bought all your books.
Yep. Tell
us a little bit about the next book, and because that's what the topic is going to be about.
Well, I was sitting in a boot camp one day myself with my wife and going through this boot camp, and there was a Vietnam veteran teaching the course, and he was in the War Dog division of the Vietnam War, and which fascinated me because he went out ahead of the infantry, and he had a dog, and the dog's job was to sniff out bombs, booby traps, ambushes. And I thought, man, imagine the psychology of what you had to tell yourself every morning. Of going out in the middle of a jungle with no people, no light, you're ahead of everybody else, hoping you don't step in the wrong place. And he kept talking about that dog having a prey drive. And I'm sitting there thinking, what is this? What's he talking about? And so I Google it, and it said an animal's ability to stalk, capture, and kill prey. And I had this huge revelation, because one of my gifts is the association of concepts. And I tap my wife and I go, humans have a prey drive. It is their ability to see something with the eyes or in the mind, in the imagination, and to pursue it with an intensity, like that animal pursues something. And so I trademarked the concept Prey Drive, specifically in humans. And then I just became fascinated by reading everything that I could on what activates the drive. Because you and I both know there's people who have talent. They have so much potential. They have skill, but they can't find that gear to go do it. They just don't have the fight in them, man, to just keep coming. So I've partnered with some of the best people in the world, from Saban psychologists to some of the best, and we've basically broken it down and studied, man, what activates this in people? What is the reason? And one of the things we found is people that have a high prey drive have big because goals. See, I grew up without a father most of my life. Because of that, I want to make sure I'm a good dad to my kids. Like, we grew up kind of poor. Because of that, I made a simple decision, man. My family's not going to be poor when I grow up, right? These big because goals. I was affected by a guy named Dr. Stephen Covey, who was actually here in Salt Lake City. And he impacted me so much. Because of that, I wanted to go impact millions of people around the world. So there's a direct correlation between your because goals and your prey drive. When you got small because goals, you don't have any prey drive, right? It's like, man, I'm just going through the motion. So when I talk to people about going from A to B, what activates that inside of you? People start thinking about their because goals in a different way. And they start going, man, I got a big reason to get up and go get it. I got a big reason to pick up the phone and make a sale when I don't feel like it. I got a big reason to follow up when I don't feel like it. I got a big reason. So we kind of go through that psychology of that, because I was a basketball coach, Al, for a decade, man. I took kids, all walks of life, poor, rich, all colors, all ethnicities, one parent, two parents, no parents. And man, I try to just engineer those kids to perform at a very high level. And that's really where I got started, testing my philosophies and my hypothesis about what works and what don't. And my whole job was to activate that drive in that kid. And it was amazing what would happen when that drive was activated. So that's what you're going to get. If you lead people like you do, you know, you and I spend a lot of time talking about how to activate the drive in your people, because they have that potential, right? And most of us, our futures are tied up in our ability to get our people to a higher level, right? And if we can't get our people to a higher level or higher frequency, man, we just never get to the levels we're capable of getting to. So if you're a leader of people, you're a manager, you're trying to build a business, a small business, and you've got employees, you're trying to figure out how. I was doing it this morning with my team. I got salespeople. I'm trying to activate their drive to help them reach their potential. So it's you're going to learn some things that are going to be some tools that you're going to need. If you got kids, you know, I can't tell you how many parents come to me and say, man, my kid's got so much talent, potential, but I just can't activate that drive in them. How do I do it? What button do I push? So it's going to be good for you, and it'll be very universal.
Well, I appreciate you coming on today, so we can, you know, there's only going to be so many tickets. The room at the Holiday Inn only holds 150. We're going to sell this out just like we do all of our events. This will be sold out. So get your tickets while we're going to actually do a happy hour right after that. So there'll be a little meet and greet. You get to meet some of the people that are either here for the hockey game the next day or just that are in the Cleveland area. But you made a good point. If you're a leader of people, if you own your own company, you need to get here and get in this seat and get ready to take some notes, because this man right here has not only changed my life, but he's changed the lives of many, many leaders across different industries, but including real estate. In fact, you're coaching the number one guy. Like, we can go right down the line at different companies out there, from insurance to you're coaching like the top 10 people at our company and many, many other companies. I mean, this is the guy. Yeah. So there's a link in the comment section. You get your ticket. It comes with, I think, like 2 drink tickets or something like that. So we'll have a nice time right after. It's on a Saturday, which is another thing that's a little different. We've never done an event on a Saturday. So we'll test the waters, and it's in the afternoon. So if you like to sleep in on a Saturday, you can sleep in and still get here on time. But appreciate you, my friend, and I can't wait to see you in Cleveland on the 12th. And get that link in the bottom, and we'll see you at the top or from the top, everybody.